Hey there, future fellow weird ass black sheep. Welcome to the most offensive church this side of the universe, the Porty Pig. And what we do here in this most amazing place, we read this great ass book. It's called God Said, because he did not fucking say that. Me, God, right now with God voice. I did not fucking say that. This is God's unofficial biography, Das Bible, as read by
yours truly, the Saint of Awesome, your Superstone Sage, Saint Nikki K the Great. Haha. Clap for me, I clap for you. Welcome. Haha. Welcome. How are you? Are you doing great? Because I'm doing great. So, I had a bag of bags to rest my feet on. Makes my butt cheeks feel better. To rest my feet on some bags, it helps my butt cheek. Don't ask me what I'm talking about, because I don't know, but I do know whatever it is, it works. And it relieves the pain in my butt cheek. Which I still have, by the way. What is this, like the second or third month I've had butt cheek pain? Yeah. And I don't even have butt cheek pain from anything cool. Like I was cracked with a whip too hard or something. Nope. I don't have any cool stories like that. Wouldn't it be wild if I did, though? But would I tell you? That's the other question. Can you see Jack? He finally switched chairs from this chair to this chair. Yeah, so he could be in the camera. But anyways, we're reading Kings. So I want to welcome you to the reading of Kings. I'm a little bit late, but in some countries I'm a little bit early. But in this time machine that we're in right now in God's spaceship, I'm exactly on time for the time that it might be if I might have been on time. It's that time. What time is that? Showtime. Yeah. So, oh shit. Okay. We're on 2 Kings 16. Oh, yeah. Okay, so Pikachu died. Now we're in the 17th year of Pika. Ahaz, the son of Jotham, king of Judah, began to reign. Ahaz was 20 years old, and he reigned 16 years in Judah. And he did not, oh, and he was evil as fuck. He did the exact opposite of David. But he decided to walk in the ways of the kings of Israel for some reason. Because nobody learns their lesson. Nobody learns their lesson. But okay. Okay. So he made his son pass through fire according to the abominations whom the Lord had cast out before these terrible ass people. And he sanctified and burned incense on the high places, in the hills, and under every green tree. Wild. Then Rezin, the king of Syria, and the king of Israel came to Julian to make war, and they besieged Ahaz, but could not overcome him. At that time, the king of Syria captured Elat and drove the men of Judah from Elat. Then the Edomites went to Elat, and they dwell there to this day. Dun, dun, dun. It's wild. Look at this. So Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, saying, I am your servant and your son. Come save me from the hand of Syria and Israel, who rise up against me. And Ahaz took the silver and gold that was found in God's house. I mean, they've been plummeted and pillaged and everything. I'm surprised they have gold. Like, seriously surprised they even have gold. They've been plundered so much. So he sent to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, saying, come and help me. So he took the silver and gold that was found in God's house and in the treasury of the king's house, and sent it as a present to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria came and helped, and took Damascus, and carried his people to Kir, and killed Rezin. Now Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, and saw an altar. Hold on. Okay. Wow. Almost just died. Did you see that? It was crazy. Okay. Okay. So he saw an altar and told Uriah to design it. So he built it to everything Ahaz had said to build it. And when the king came back from Damascus, the king saw the altar, and the king approached the altar and made offerings on it. He burnt his burnt offerings and his grain offerings. And he poured his drink offerings and sprinkled blood of his peace offerings on the altar. But he brought the bronze altar wow. It's just itchy in my throat. It's crazy. Wow. Okay. So, Uriah made this awesome ass altar, and Ahab just did all his offerings on this offering thing that he made or had made for him. And then he brought in the bronze altar. What? He brought the bronze altar, which was before the Lord from the front of the temple, from between the new altar and the house of the Lord, and put it on the north side of the new altar. Then Ahaz commanded Uriah, saying, on the great new altar, burn the morning burnt offering, the evening grain offering, and the king's burnt sacrifice and his grain offering, with the burnt offerings of all the people of the land, their grain and drink offerings, and sprinkle on it the blood of the burnt offering, and all the blood of the sacrifice, and the bronze altar shall be for me to inquire by. So is he just keeping the bronze altar to himself to talk to God? Or his version of God? Maybe something is happening. Thus Uriah did according to all Ahaz said. Now Ahaz cut off the panels of the carts, removed the lavers from them, took down the sea from the bronze oxen that were under it, and put it on the pavement of stones. He also removed the Sabbath pavilion, which they had built in the temple, and removed the king's outer entrance from the house of the Lord on the account of the king of Assyria. Now, everything else Ahaz did, is written in the Chronicles of Judah, and he died and was buried in the city of David. Then Hezekiah, his son, reigned in his place. Yeah. We're on the songs. Yay. How many minutes are we at? 16. We might be able to get through all the songs today. Wouldn't that be some shit? Yeah. Okay.
Aw, we didn't even get to sing chapter 16. 16 chapters. We missed it. We missed it. Damn it. Well, we can do 17. Yeah. Just like this book of stuff. Reading stuff, I know what I'm reading.
What? Say, we're only on
Chapter 17.
Oh, I love life. Life is so great.
Yeah. Yay. We're reading a song. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Okay. So, let's see. What does it say? Wow. Hold on. What is happening? I don't know what's happening. Okay. Now I know what's happening. Oh. No. What's happening? Don't nobody want that. Okay. Here we go. Okay. So, chapter 17. Okay. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, Hoshea became king of Israel and Samaria and reigned 9 years. And he was evil, but not like the kings who were before him. Shalmander, king of Assyria, came up against him, and Hoshea became his vassal and paid him tribute money. And the king of Assyria uncovered a conspiracy by Hoshea, for he had sent messengers to the king of Egypt and brought no tribute to Assyria as he had done before. Therefore, the king of Assyria shut him up and bound him in prison. Now, the king of Assyria went throughout all the land and went up to Samaria and besieged it 3 years. In the 9th year of Hoshea, king of Assyria, took Samaria and carried Israel away to Assyria and placed them in Halah and by the harbor, the river of Gozan, and in the city of the Medes. Medes. For it was that these terrible ass people had sinned again against the Lord, and they fucked around and are finding out. Oh, he's got to remind them. No, hold on. Okay. For it was that these terrible ass people sinned against the Lord, who had brought them from Egypt, from the hand of the Pharaoh. And they had feared other gods and had walked in the statutes of the nations, whom the Lord had cast out from these terrible ass people. Also, these terrible ass people secretly did against the Lord things that were not right, and they built for themselves high places all over their cities, from watchtower to fortified city. They had set up for themselves sacred pillars, wooden images on every high hill and green tree, and they burned incense in all the high places, like the nations whom the Lord had carried away before them. And they did wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger. They served idols, which God was like, don't do that stupid shit. Yet, the Lord testified against these terrible ass bloodthirsty monsters and their tiny counterpart, tiny leech bloodthirsty monsters, by all his prophets, every seer, saying, don't fuck around because you will find out. Just follow my rules. It's not so hard. Nevertheless, they would not hear, but stiffened their necks like a whore who didn't get paid. Spit the tip. So they stiffed their necks like the necks of their fathers, who did not believe in God. And they rejected his statutes and his rules, the covenant, the testimony, everything they did not believe. And they followed idols, became idolaters, and went after the nations who were all around them, concerning whom the Lord said, don't be like these people. Just, I know you want to, but don't. It's so bad. Like, don't do it. But they left all of God's rules, and they made for themselves molded images of two calves, made a wooden image, and worshipped all the hosts of heaven, and served Baal. And they caused their sons and daughters to pass through fire, practice witchcraft, soothsaying, and sold themselves to evil, provoking God to anger. Therefore, the Lord was very angry. And removed them from his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Judah alone. But I thought they were also being bloodthirsty monsters. But here we go. Also, Judah did not keep the commandments, but they walked in the statutes like Israel. And the Lord rejected all the descendants of Israel, afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of plunderers, until he had cast them from his sight. For he tore these terrible ass people from the house of David. And they made Jeroboam king. Then Jeroboam drove Israel from following the Lord. and made them commit a great sin. For these terrible as people walked in all of the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. And they did not depart from them until the Lord removed them out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants. So Israel was carried away from their own land to Assyria, as it is to this day. So I guess that's where some of the original bloodline is. It's in Assyria. Oh, here we go. Then the king of Syria brought people from Babylon, Cutha, Ava, Hamath, Shephavarium, and placed them in the cities of Samaria instead of these terrible people. And they took possession of Samaria and dwelt in its cities. So what is that telling you? The people that are there are not the original people. The original people, their bloodline can be found in Assyria. Crazy, I know. Yeah, this is crazy. And it was so. The beginning of their dwelling there, I thought this happened in Babylon. But no, this happened way before Babylon. Okay. Hi, General Piggy. So, okay. I thought that this happened later in the story. 1 second. Okay. So I thought that this happened later in the story. But no, but now it makes a lot more sense. The original bloodline of these people can be found in Assyria. Okay. So anyway, then they bought, okay, and they possessed it. Okay. And it was so, at the beginning of their dwelling there, they did not fear the Lord. Therefore, the Lord sent lions among them, which killed some of them. So they spoke to the king of Assyria, saying, listen, dude, there's lions and shit. The God of this land is very angry. We need to know what to do. We need to know how to be Jew. Didn't I? Where the fuck? Okay. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, we don't know how to be Jew. And God is very mad. So, therefore, because and look, if we knew how to do what God wanted us to do, we would surely do it, because these fiery lions, it's a real problem. So the king of Assyria commanded, saying, send one of the priests, send there one of the priests whom you brought from there. Let him go and dwell there. and let him teach them the rituals of God. Then one priest taught these people Jew. So the people of the land literally learned how to be a Jew from one guy who probably didn't even know he was lying. However, every nation continued to make gods of its own. Every nation made gods of his own and put them in the shrines on the high places, which the Samaritans had made. Every nation in the cities where they dwelt, the men of Babylon made Succoth, Benoth. The men of Cuth made Nergal. The men of, oh, these are all devil demon guys. I don't want to say all these names. No. And you start naming them, they become friendly. They do this on purpose. But I realize what I'm reading, and I'm not reading all these devil demon guys' names. Not happening. Okay. And the Sepharvites burn their children in fire to these people. So they feared the Lord from every class. They appointed for themselves priests of the high places who sacrificed for them in the shrines, high places. They feared the Lord, yet served their own gods, according to the rituals of the nations from among where they were carried away. When in Rome, to this day, they continue practicing the former rituals. They do not fear the Lord, nor do they follow his rules, because there's literally only 10 of them. They didn't follow his rules that they gave him, such as, you shall not fear other gods, bow down to them, serve them, or sacrifice to them. But the Lord who brought you from Egypt with great power and an outstretched arm, him you shall fear. Him you shall worship, and him you shall offer sacrifice. And the statutes, the ordinance, the law and commandments which he wrote for you, you shall be careful to observe forever. You shall not fear other gods. And the covenant I have made with you, you shall not forget. Nor shall you fear other gods, but the Lord your God you shall fear, and he will deliver you from the hand of your enemies. However, they did not obey. They followed their former rituals. So these nations feared the Lord, yet served their carved images. Also, their children and their children's children had continued doing as their fathers have done to this day. $35. That's not bad. We can do chapter 18, I suppose. 1 second. General Piggy. General Piggy. Smoke this joint with me real quick. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It just got real hot in here for a second. Hold on, let me go turn my air on. Hi, Curtis. Let me go turn my air on. Hold on. Wow, it's hot as fuck for no reason. Hey, Kelsa, I should unlock the front door. I got the back door. No, there's no cats outside. I got the back door open. They can come. Okay. So, welcome everybody. You ready to smoke this joint? Now that my air's on. Oh, man, that felt so nice. Curtis. I love that. Okay. We got one more song. I can't wait. Okay.
Chapter 18.
I know what it said. Chapter 18.
It's shit we already read. Chapter 18.
This shit is so fucking fun.
That's why I never wanna be done.
Chapter 18. Yeah. Clap for me. I'm Godorati. Buy my CD. Yeah.
Man, I love life. Life is the best. Oh, I love that. That little cat. That's so cute. Okay. Let's read chapter 18. Okay. Now, it came to pass in the third year of Hoshea, the king of Israel, that Hezekiah, the king of Judah, began to reign when he was 25. And he reigned 29 years in Judah. And he did what was right in the sight of the Lord, according to everything David had done. He removed the high places, broke the sacred pillars, cut down the wooden images, broke into pieces the bronze serpent that Moses had made. Look, yeah, but why though? Because that bronze serpent was very important. Because if you remember the fiery snakes, that bronze serpent got rid of the fiery snakes. But I don't know why he would break it like that. That is a piece of history, my friend. But okay. For until those days, these terrible ass people burned incense. Well, it was the reason a lot of them didn't die. Okay. But they called it Nehushtan. I didn't think it had a name before, but anyways, he trusted in God, so that after him there was none like him among all the kings of Judah, nor before him, for he held fast to the Lord. He did not depart from following him, but kept his commandments, which the Lord had commanded Moses. Literally 10 rules. The Lord was with him. He prospered wherever he went. And he rebelled against the king of Assyria and did not serve him. He subdued the Philistines as far as Gaza and its territory from the watchtower to the fortified city. Now it came to pass in the 4th year of Hezekiah, which was the 7th year of Hoshea, the king of Israel, that Shalmander, king of Assyria, came up against Samaria and besieged it. And at the end of 3 years, they took it. The 6th year of Hezekiah, that's the 9th year of Hoshea, Samaria was taken. Then the king of Assyria carried Israel away captive to Assyria and put them in Halah, and by the harbor the river Gozan, and then the cities of the Medes. I thought they already just did that. But I already thought this just happened. Okay. But he did this because they did not obey God, but transgressed his covenant and all that Moses had commanded, and they would neither hear nor do them. And in the 13th year of Hezekiah, Sennacherib, king of Assyria, so we're going to call him Sennacherib. Santa's chariot, the new king of Assyria. He assessed Hezekiah, king of Judah, 300. Oh, wait. Okay, Santas came up against the fortified cities of Judah and took them. Then Hezekiah, king of Judah, sent to Santa's chariot at Lachish, saying, I have been wrong, turn away from you, and whatever you impose on me, I will pay. And the king of Syria assessed Hezekiah 300 talents of silver, 30 talents of gold, So Hezekiah gave him everything that was in God's house and the king's house. At that time, Hezekiah stripped the gold from the doors of the temple of the Lord and from the pillars which Hezekiah, king of Judah, had overlaid. Hezekiah. So then he's taking his own shit down. Then the king of Assyria sent the Tartan, the Rabsaris, and the Rabshakeh from Lachish with a great army against Jewland to King Hezekiah, and they went up and came to Jewland. Then they had come up, they had stood by the aqueduct from the upper pool, which was on the highway to the fuller's field. And when they had called to the king, Eliakim, who was over the household, Shebna, and Joah, Shebna the scribe, Joah the recorder, came out to them. Then the Rabshakeh said to them, "Tell Hezekiah that the great king of Assyria says, what confidence is this in which you trust? You speak of having plans and power for war, but they are mere words. In whom do you trust that you rebel against me? Now look, you are trusting in the staff of this broken reed, Egypt, on which if a man leads, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all who trust in him. But if you say to me, I trust in God, is it not he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah has taken away, and said to Judah and Jewland, you shall worship before this altar in Jewland? I'm not exactly sure. But if you say to me, we trust in the Lord our God, is it not he whose high places and whose altars Hezekiah has taken away, and said to Judah and Jewland, you shall worship before this altar in Jewland? The answer to that is no. He got rid of the high places of the other gods. He got rid of the high places of the other gods. Now, therefore, I urge you, give a pledge to my master, the king of Assyria, and I will give you 2,000 horses. And if you are able on your own, if you are able on your part to put riders on them, how then will you repel one captain of the least of my master's servants? Oh. Okay. And put your trust in Egypt for chariots and horsemen. Have I now come up without the Lord against this place to destroy it? The Lord said to me, go up against this land and destroy it. Then Eliakim, Shebna, and Jonah said to the Rabashakeh, please speak to your servants in Aramaic, for we understand it. Do not speak in Hebrew in the hearing of all the people who are on the wall. So he's like, don't say this so everybody can hear it. But I think this was a trap. And Rabashakeh said, has my master sent me to your master and to you to speak these words, and not to all the men who sit on the wall, who will eat and drink their own waste with you? Then Rabashakeh stood and called out with a loud voice in Hebrew and spoke, saying, hear the word of the great king, the king of Assyria. Do not let Hezekiah deceive you, for he will not be able to deliver you from his hand, nor let Hezekiah make you trust in the Lord, saying, the Lord will surely deliver us. This city shall not be given into the hand of Assyria. Do not listen, for thus says the king of Assyria, make peace with me by a present and come to me, and every one of you eat from his own vine, from his own fig tree, or drink of the waters of his own cistern, until I come take you away to a land like your own, a land of grain and new wine. Oh, look, where'd that weed come from? Okay. Well, I just found weed out of nowhere. It's cool. Okay. Right, and everyone. Until I come and take you a land, okay, bread. I'll give you this great land. And I'll give you money that you may live and not die. But do not listen to Hezekiah, lest he persuade you, saying, the Lord will deliver us. Has any of the gods of the other nations delivered its land from the hand of Assyria? Where are the gods of Hamath, Arpad? Where are the gods of Shepharim and Hena, Iva? Indeed, they have delivered Samaria. Oh, have they delivered Samaria from my hand? Who among all the gods of the lands have delivered their countries from my hand, that the Lord should deliver Julian, that the Lord should deliver Julian from my hand? That's crazy. But the people held their peace and answered not a word, for the king's commandment was, do not answer him. Then Eliakim, Shebna, and Joab came to Hezekiah, butt naked, and told him everything the Rabashakeh had said. 36 minutes, man. This can be so long. So long. This is crazy. Curtis, you still here? Piggy, are you still here? What do you guys think about this whole king of Assyria thing? I thought this happened. I thought this was Babylon that did this, but Assyria did it way before Babylon. And then even Syria added Babylonians to, or at least it says the Syrians took some Babylonians and made them citizens of Israel because he took Israel away to Samaria or Syria, Assyria. So it seems like if we were searching for the original bloodline or where it would be at, the first place I would look would be Assyria. That's where the special blooded people are. So that's the first place that's taken them. I don't know. Okay. So we are going to do chapter 19. But just to know it's so long, it's actually going to be really kind of long. But I need to do something real quick. Dun, 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 dun. Why are you dying? Because you're a bad, bad guy. Damn. Damn it. Okay. Can I break away? Push me away. Okay. What's happening? Okay. So let's do chapter 19. Man, this is going to be so long, though. And so it was when King Hezekiah heard this, he got naked and put on his t-shirt diaper thing and went into the house of the Lord. Then he sent Eliakim, Shebna, the elders of these terrible ass people with their t-shirt diaper things, to Isaiah the prophet, the son of Amos. And they said to him, here we go. We got to get ready for God voice because it's coming. Okay. So they told Isaiah, this day is a day of trouble, rebuke, and blasphemy. For these terrible people have come to birth, but there is no strength to bring them forth. It may be that the Lord your God will hear all the words of the Rebbeshaki, in whom his master, the king of Assyria, has sent to reproach the living God, and will rebuke the words which the Lord your God has heard. Therefore, lift your prayer for the remnant that is left. So the servants of Hezekiah came to Isaiah, and he said, thus you should say to your master. Wait.
Do not be afraid of the words which you have heard, with which the servants of the king of Assyria have blasphemed me. Surely I will send a spirit upon him, and he shall hear a rumor and return to his own land. And I will cause him to fall by the sword in his own land. Because booyah, bitches. Gadarati. I'm the best. I'm a CD. Just saying. Oh, man.
Then the Rebeshakah returned and found the king of Assyria warring against Libnah, for he had heard that he departed from Lachish. And the king heard concerning Tirhakah, king of Ethiopia, look, he has come out to make war with you. So he again sent messengers to Hezekiah, saying, tell Hezekiah, do not let your God, whom you trust, deceive you, saying, Jewland will not be given to the hand of Assyria. Look, you have heard what the king of Assyria has done to all the lands, utterly destroying them, and you shall be delivered. Have the gods of the nations delivered those whom my fathers have destroyed? Gozan, Haran, Resphet, the people of Eden, who were in Telasar. Where is the king of Hamath? Arpad, the king of Sepharvaim, Hannah, Iva, and Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. Hezekiah went up to God's house and spread it before the Lord. Then Hezekiah prayed before the Lord and said, O Lord, God of Israel, the one whom dwells between the cherubim, who sits great on his suitcase chair. You are God, you alone. You have made heaven and earth. Incline your ear, O Lord, and hear. Open your eyes, Lord, see, and hear the words of Sennacherib, which he has sent to reproach the living God. Truly, Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste the nations and their lands. cast their gods into fire, for they were not gods, but the works of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore, they destroyed them. Now, therefore, O Lord, our God, I pray, save us from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you are God, you alone. Then Isaiah sent to Hezekiah, saying,
Because you have prayed to me against Santa's chariot, I have heard. This is the word that I am speaking concerning him. The virgin, the daughter of Zion, has despised you, laughed you to scorn. The daughter of Jewland has shaken her head behind your back. Ugh. Yeah. Oh shit. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I forgot. Dustin. Oh man. Okay. Behind your back. Whom have you reproached and blasphemed? Against whom have you raised your voice? Better listen here, little girl. Sit your ass down. Yeah. Why, you full grown toddler? Shut up. Who, whom have you raised your voice? Lifted your eyes on high? Against who? The Holy One of Israel. By your messengers you have reproached the Lord, and said, by the multitude of my chariots, I have come to the height of the mountains, to the limits of Lebanon. I will cut down its tall cedars and its choice cypress trees. I will enter the extremity of its borders, to its fruitful forests. I have dug and drunk strange water, and with the soles of my feet I have dried up all the brooks of defense. Did you not hear long ago how I made it? From ancient times, I formed it. Because I was there for all that shit, man. Nothing's original to me because I am the originator. Yeah. Mic drop, bitches. Yeah. Be original, bitch. Go somewhere. Have you heard how I have brought it to pass that you should be for crushing fortified cities into heaps of ruins? Therefore, Their inhabitants have little power. Yeah, take that, Santa Chariot. I'm using you, bitch. Use this. What? Mic drop. They were dismayed and confounded. They were as the grass of the field, and the green herb as the green grass on the housetops, and great, blighted before it's grown. But I know your dwelling place. You're going out and coming in, and your rage against the machine. I mean, your rage against me, but also rage against the machine. Before they went full commie libtard, they were good. Back when counterculture was Republican. Yeah. Anyway, so the rage against the machine. Because your rage against me and your tumult have come to my ears. Therefore, I will put my hook in your nose and my bridle in your lips. And then I'll pull you by the hair and jam it deep in there. That's not what God said. No, but that is some kinky shit. But no, that's not what God said. God said, I'm going to hurt you really bad. And then I'm going to put you back where you came from. Hit the road, Jack. It'll be just like that. Only you'll have a new lip and a new nose piercing to go with your black eye. Yeah, take that. Yeah, wait. And this shall be a sign to you. You shall eat this year such as grows of itself, and the second year what springs from the same, and the third year sow and reap. Plant vineyards and eat of the fruit of them. And the remnant who have escaped the house of Judah shall again take root downward and bear fruit upward. For out of Judah land shall go a remnant, and those who agape from Mount Zion, city of David. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. And the king of Assyria will not come into this city, nor shoot an arrow here, nor come before it with a shield, nor build a siege mound against it. By the way that he came is the way he will return, and he shall not come into this city. For I will defend this city and save it for my name's sake and David's name's sake. So there we go. We know what God cares about, and it's not America.
He cares about Jewland. Hi, General Piggy. That could be earwax, somebody's ear. There's a bear eating earwax right now. That's kind of crazy. Okay, we're almost done. Hold on. And it came to pass on a certain night that the angel of the Lord went out and killed in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. And when people arose early in the morning, there were the corpses, all dead, So Santa's chariot, king of Assyria, departed and went the way he returned, or returned the way he came, and remained at Nineveh. And it came to pass, as he was worshiping in the temple of this other demon devil guy, that his sons struck him down with the sword, and they escaped into the land of Arad. Then Esarhaddon, his son, reigned in his place. Okay, now we're going to end right there. We'll pick up on chapter 20 tomorrow. Okay. Oh, shit. I think Dustin's home. Is your dad home? Okay. No, I'm getting ready to end right now.